Hey there, MRA, my Real Africanist. This is Marie Ya Jouf, the Real Africanist, and welcome to my channel. If you have been here before, I appreciate you coming back. And if this is your first time here, welcome, and I thank you for watching. On this channel, I talk about African history, I talk about the field of African studies, and I talk about current African affairs. But most of all, I talk about Africa for real, for real. However, right now, I don't have much to talk about in terms of African history and current affairs and the field of African studies, but I did want to express my respect and my condolences to the great Mr. Harry Belafonte, right? I believe that most of you all are aware that he passed away on yesterday, and I could not let this opportunity go by without me showing my respect and appreciation for what he has done for people of African descent all over the world. Mr. Belafonte was a soldier in the movement to gain total liberation and equality for his people, right? He is a gentleman of Jamaican heritage, right? But he was born here in America. He was a phenomenal entertainer, a singer, as well as an actor. During his heyday, he was in the category of Sidney Poitier, Ozzie Davis, Ruby Dee, Diana Carroll, all of those exceptional entertainers. But not only was he an entertainer, he was also an activist, right? And also someone who committed his life and actually sacrificed his career for a bigger cause. And again, that cause was Black liberation, right? He did a lot for the civil rights movement. I mean, he actually funded a big part of the civil rights movement, right? He was a good friend and colleague and supporter of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And from what I understand, he also was a big support to Dr. King's family, as Dr. King spent most of his time and his resources fighting the good fight of civil rights, right? Those type of people don't come around a lot, right? Back in those days, those entertainers were exceptional in that manner, that they really put their money where their mouth was, and they really showed that they were committed to equality and justice for Black people, again, all over the world. I mean, not only did he support African Americans, he supported movements in the Caribbean, he supported movements on the African continent. I remember it being said that he visited Rwanda shortly after the Rwandan genocide to talk about the importance of taking care of the children, educating the children, and just making sure that the children were attended to due to the trauma that many of them would endure, right? Also, he was a valiant fighter against apartheid as well. I also recall Mr. Belafonte being an advocate supporter of Cuba and advocate opponent of the embargo, right, that was leveled against Fidel Castro and the Cuban government. Well, basically the country of Cuba, right, because the Cuban people suffered a great deal as a result. Okay, so anyway, I just wanted to say that when we lost Mr. Belafonte, we lost a soldier, right? We lost a soldier. He was definitely a soldier for the cause of black liberation, and he will be truly missed. We are losing our elders, right? Our elders who made it possible for us to be here doing what we are doing today. About maybe 2 weeks ago, Randall Robinson, I'm not sure if you all are familiar with Randall Robinson, but Mr. Robinson also, he wrote The Debt. He was the founder of, I think it was Trans Africa organization, but he was another one who was out there on the battlefield fighting for black liberation and the black struggle, right? He also wrote the book Quitting America. He left America and he went to live in St. Kitts, and that's where he was living when he passed away, right? These are historical figures in African American history, and they have left a legacy that we all can be proud of, right? I know sometimes now, as African Americans, we, in hindsight, we say that integration was probably one of the worst things that could have happened to African Americans, and that's only because of the substantial loss of independence that we have endured. However, I think the premise, I think the premise was right, and I think that a lot of our leaders thought that there would be a different outcome, right? I mean, what they were fighting for was equality and justice for all people, regardless of race, right? They were not just fighting so they could sit in a cafeteria, stand next to a white person, or go shop in white stores. I mean, we have relegated that movement to that narrative, but I would suggest that that's not what they had in mind, you know. And even at the end of Dr. King's life, he actually said so, right? That his heart was in the right place, but he knew that his efforts were not did not establish what he intended to establish, right? So, I mean, we can have our thoughts about it, but it took a lot of courage for our leaders to do what they did, right? And like I believe that their hearts were definitely in the right place, but unfortunately, when you're dealing with a system that was based on or founded on racism and founded on inequality, right, founded on murder, founded on greed, then what can you expect, right? We have made a lot of advances as African American people as a result of those sacrifices of our ancestors. So we have to be appreciative of that, right? Um, and that's why we have to continue to fight, right? Have to continue to fight the good fight. If we feel that the movement for civil rights was in error, then have to uh, we have to have our own plan, and we have to have our own solutions to these problems that we still face, that our ancestors were facing then, and that we still face, that we continue to fight. We have to have a plan as well, and we have to be willing to make the sacrifices that they were willing to make for the betterment of all of our people, right? I am definitely one for Black independence. However, I do realize that we have to be reasonable, not in our expectations and desire, but about the system that we are working in. And we have to, again, like I said, be willing to sacrifice and make a commitment in our efforts to secure um, true liberation for our people, right? So um, I want to thank Mr. Harry Belafonte and all of the ancestors, those that have come before me and for us. I want to thank them all for the sacrifices that they made. So this is Marie Ya Jouf, the Real Africanist. Again, I thank you for watching. You can catch me here on YouTube, or you can catch me at my blog at therealafricanist.com, right? And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, right? And also hit the notification button so you can be one of the first to receive my videos when I put them up, right? So I will catch you all later. Fight the power. Always remember there's more to the story than meets the eye, so you have to go deeper. And always remember, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Peace.